This episode is brought to you by Netflix. This Monday night, witness the end of an era. John Cena takes center stage for his final appearance ever on Monday Night Raw. One last match, one unforgettable farewell. Come celebrate the legacy of a true WWE legend. Monday Night Raw, November 17th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, only on Netflix. Be there for the moment everyone will be talking about.
A message from McAfee. Wondering why the post office is texting you or why you owe thousands of dollars in toll fees? Because someone's trying to scam you. The good news? McAfee can help. With McAfee's award-winning scam detection, it's easy to tell what's real and what's fake over text, in your inbox, and online. If they're
You want a free gift?
Seriously? If they're faking it, they're not making it past us. Get award-winning scam detection today. McAfee.com/keepitreal.
I turned off news altogether.
I hate to say it, but I don't trust much of anything.
It's the rage bait.
It feels like it's trying to divide people.
If we got clear facts, maybe we could calm down a little.
NBC News brings you clear reporting. Let's meet at the facts. Let's move forward from there. NBC News, reporting for America.
Welcome to Wrestling with Heart, a podcast looking at pro wrestlers giving back to their community. Join me, Stanley Carr, as I interview wrestling's hottest names who use their platforms as entertainers to raise awareness and do community service.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Wrestling with Heart. This is the show where we talk with professional wrestlers and professional wrestling personalities about their lives in and outside of the ring, as well as doing acts of charity work, community service, volunteering, and spreading positivity. We're always about the positive vibes here on the show. And with me right now, I've got a very special guest. She is a professional wrestler, actress, fashion designer, and has appeared on the television series Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, aka Glow. I'm pleased to welcome the one and only Roxy Astor. Welcome to Wrestling with Heart.
Hi. When you meet with Roxy, you better beware, because I'm really strong and debonair. This jet set girl never backs down, because all she wanted was the Glow crown.
Hey, how about that? That's so cool.
The fact that I can remember it, it's great.
Hey man, that's so cool that you're able to still remember that all these years later.
Yeah.
All right. So, are you from California originally, Los Angeles?
No, I'm actually from a small town, Auburn, Washington, which is kind of on the outskirts of Seattle, maybe 20 minutes from Seattle. So, small little town.
All right. So, tell me about your childhood and upbringing.
Childhood wasn't athletic. I did this play Matilda the Hun where I kind of go into that. Wasn't popular, didn't know how to fit in, didn't know where, why. I just knew I was kind of a very different thinker, and it's kind of like how I am. I've never changed. I've always kind of thought outside the box, and honestly, being in Auburn, I knew there was much bigger and better things out there. So I was just trying to fit in, and I just knew if I threw this cool party with lots of alcohol, I would fit in. And it worked. But that was it. That was about the best of my coolness back there. But then I became a hairdresser. And graduating right when I graduated from high school. So I always say hairdressing saved my life. It kind of gave me a purpose to do other things. So I got something out of high school.
Yeah, you found like that escape from everything that was going on. And so hairdressing, I'm sure, taught you a lot of things.
Yeah, and back then, I mean, the government actually, they paid for the whole thing, which is great. So yeah, so you basically had a career going right out of there. And honestly, I was probably the top in my class, and then I got handpicked to work in a high-end salon on Fifth Avenue in Seattle called Salon Cardot, and where I apprenticed for a while. So yeah, so that was kind of cool.
That's excellent. So growing up, was wrestling something you watched as a kid? Was that something that you turned on one day? It was like, man, I want to do this.
Not at all. In fact, I didn't even really know what wrestling was. It wasn't that big where I grew up. Nobody talked about it. It was something I had discovered when I actually moved to LA. So, yeah, it was just nothing that, yeah, I want to grow up and be a wrestler and not even, or I want to be an actress. None of that. Just none of that at all.
None of it out. Okay,
Mhm.
so acting, I'm sure, it was something that you kind of fell into years later. What was it about acting that made you go, this is pretty fascinating. I want to give this a shot.
Okay, are you saying acting as in glow acting or acting in general?
In general, because
Oh,
one thing leads to another, and I think pro wrestling and acting kind of go hand in hand because you're learning a lot. How to improv and working with different producers and writers, and so I'm sure the world of acting definitely helped prepare you for working on Glow.
not at all. In fact, I never got into acting. I'm going to tell you what prepared me for it. When you're a hairdresser and you have clients and you have different personalities, you're an actor. You have to basically, you're like, to me, you're in front of the camera there. That's your client. You have to do their hair good, so you got to be really good, and you have to learn to tell stories. So and that's why I'm saying being a hairdresser kind of opened the door for so much more than I think acting could have ever. I never wanted to be an actress. Never. I
Well,
kind of wanted to be on the other end of producing and creating and that. But so, yeah, to be a hairdresser, you have to be an actress or an actor.
who would have thought, just out of the blue, just any job could land you something that was just that much bigger in
But
life?
you know what? I never saw that coming. I never even thought I would ever grow up and be a wrestler. Like if you were to ask me as a kid, that is just nothing I would have done or said.
Well, let's talk about, you talk about preparing to be an actress, from
Mhm.
hairdressing. What was the exact moment where you kind of got discovered, somebody or made the suggestion, hey, this is something you might want to check out?
Okay, that was actually me moving to LA, and I was watching WWF at the time, and I really liked it because I saw the women and the men. It was just something like, okay, this kind of has my attention. Like, what is this? And then, and I bring that story into the Matilda Hunt story where I say that's where I discovered Glow. So after WWF, I would watch Glow, and it was like a lightning bolt hit. I'm just like, what is this? Where is this? How can I be a part of this? Once I saw it, and if anybody knows me, I get very obsessed until I really can either I'll try out until I get a no or a F you go away, but I will keep doing it and keep doing it and until. So there was actually a phone number and it said if you want to be a glow wrestler. So I called the number and I got an audition. Now I found out there was 3,500 girls that tried out for it, and so I'm not really the auditiony actress type or whatever, but I know if I would have heard that number I probably would have folded. I don't think I would have done it. That's kind of scary numbers. So um I just kind of went in to the audition just, as a character. So I gave myself a character for the audition. So just getting in there and getting seen and getting picked was pretty cool.
Well, was Glow your first acting job?
Yeah. Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's why I think it's very funny when a lot of the Glow girls were actresses and they had agents and they had, you know, I didn't have any of that. I was just winging it. I winged it all the way to Glow. So
Well,
I'm kind of like it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. That's all I can say.
well, it's kind of interesting that, you watch the WWE, WWF, and you're just like that hooked by it right away, and you just see
Yeah.
what's going on, like these two
Yeah.
men or two women, they're taking matters into their own hands essentially,
Yeah.
and so you kind of get caught up in it. And then this was during a time when I think pro wrestling was huge because you had so many companies. You had the
Yeah.
WWE, you had NWA, you had the Crockett's, you had Glow, and so many different promotions. Memphis. St. Louis,
Hmm.
so many places for people to work, and it was a boom period because everywhere you went, you'd see
Yeah.
so many stars. So
Well, I have to say though, the thing that stuck out with Glow though for me is that when I saw it, there was Matilda the Hun Mount Fiji. There was like all like shapes and sizes and personalities, and it wasn't just like okay, you like WWF. I noticed that a lot of muscle guys made it back then. You had your big guys. With Glow, it wasn't like that. It was just very. Felt Glow was kind of like, hey, if she can do it, I can do it, and that's kind of how it was, and that's how I felt. I felt like I could fit into Glow. I never thought I could fit into WWF, or nor did I want to. I knew I could fit into Glow if I had the chance.
also too, I feel like Glow made such an impact in terms of women's wrestling and the market for it because it inspired a generation of women's wrestlers that
Yeah,
got into it. So
yeah.
it's that representation I feel was just as important. And
Mhm.
when you're auditioning, because you said 3,000 people, you're basically, having to really prove yourself and stand out among the pack. So when you audition, talk to me about getting in the ring, working with all these different people. Because
Yeah.
I gotta imagine when you're taking those bumps on the mat for the first time, it hurts. So, and it's not easy. So, walk me through the process and your experience with learning how to wrestle and getting through the audition process.
Okay, so my thing is like, have you ever wanted something so bad that nothing hurt? That you just had tunnel vision of just being a glow girl. That's what it was like for me. So I remember, Matt Simber, I always kind of joke he'd stand back there with his straw and chew his straw and kind of look at us, and I always felt like kind of a little insecure because you had beautiful Sally the farmer's daughter, and you had Hollywood Godiva came in later with her long blonde hair, and then I just had this ratty bleach permed hair, and I'm just like, how am I going to fit into this? Well, I have to stand out somehow. So um, I think I had a very good, funny personality, and I feel like I got along with everybody. And what I did is I worked really hard. So I started running because I wanted to be able to breathe in the ring. I didn't smoke, which is a very good thing for me because I had stamina in the ring, and I did study other wrestlers. I did do everything I thought I should do. Um, but I wasn't a gymnast, and I honestly I remember it's kind of like how did I actually I mean when we started out we take our bumps and we hit the mat. You start out on the ground. So you get actually that hit, that and you feel. When you actually do it, it is so different. But then it was just like I got obsessed. I wanted to have the perfect bump. I wanted it to be loud. I wanted it to be just really good. So I would just go in there and just flip myself over. I don't know to this day how I thought I was going to get my feet over my head. When you're not a gymnast, and and I know we started out with handstands, and that kind of, there was a whole process with that. And we had Debbie, who was the cheerleader, Nanitchka, that trained us, and they were actually very, very good. But it was kind of like, go, go, like you hit the ropes, go, go. So I felt like, when you're under that much pressure, I thrive under pressure. I do so much better under pressure. If I'm not, if somebody's yelling at me, I'm kind of like, I'll show you, I'll tell you, I'll show you. So I don't take anything bad. I don't get my feelings hurt. I'm just like, I'll show you.
You really have to find ways to, make yourself, stand out from the
Yeah.
rest of the group. And so being able to, show the producers and the people that you're working with, hey, I really want to do this. I have to
Yeah.
really, show that I can hang with all these people and, move up the ranks, rise through the ranks. So getting the chance to work on Glow, I'm sure was an amazing experience. Tell me about some of the people you got to work with and compete against over your time there, because that show I feel like had some pretty cool characters.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I came in the same time as Beastie and Daisy and Sunny, and we all came in at the same time. Godiva came in later, and I remember we were just all working so hard. And I used to go out and party with Beastie and Daisy, even though we weren't supposed to, but I did. And I gave Beastie her mohawk. I gave her that mohawk in my apartment because being a hairdresser, I thought, let me bring my, my stuff there. And so I did some of the hair for Glow. And Gremlina, love Gremlina. She was so much fun. Honestly, it felt like the sorority that I never got to have not going to college. And for me, it was a really, really good experience. And love working with Daisy. Love, she made you look good. Beastie with her character, she made you look good. Um, and Hollywood, her and I had some really good matches. And Godiva, I remember she came in later. And whenever somebody new comes in, you're always going to kind of look at them going, oh, that could be competition. Maybe I'm on my way out. All I knew was Godiva came in with like her long, beautiful blonde hair. And I'm like, oh God, I'm screwed. But then she ended up being one of my favorite opponents. She was a lot of it because she was a gymnast and she made you look good.
Now, you were there season 3 and 4?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you got to work with a wide array of different people. Talk to me about your first few matches when you started, because I'd imagine, the training, and learning helped propel you for those matches. Were you nervous? Were you scared? Did you eventually start feeling confident?
Okay, well, we'll start off with the outfit. Number one, uh, it was Nanishka's mom who did she did the costumes. And I remember going in there to see my outfit, and I knew it was going to be a whole bodysuit and it'd be something incredible. And then she brought out this little, I don't know, looked like a 2-inch outfit that stretched out. And I'm like, oh my God, that's not who I am. Oh my God, how am I going to do this? So I thought, yeah, I'm going to wear like 3 pairs of tights because I don't feel comfortable like this. And I was the type that would never even show my arms. And then here I am in this little tiny outfit. So the fact I could get over that, um, seriously, I felt really insecure when I first came out there, but then I saw people kind of going, "Woo, yeah, they're liking it." I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right, this is working." So also too, for my hair, and this will lead into the first match, and you'll understand. So perming and bleaching my hair was not a good thing. You're not supposed to do those things together. And so when you use Final Net, right? And your hair is so dry, you're putting in glitter and you're spraying it, my hair would actually break on the mat. It would just break because Aquanet was so tough. So I think my first match was with Mabel and Sarah and Mabel. And we practiced the match. We went through everything. We did not practice of them putting a hood over me. Okay, now keep in mind, we didn't practice it. I have glitter, I have everything, hairspray, everything. So I'm having to do this match almost blinded because everything was kind of moved because, we just didn't practice it. And I felt like the glitter, it was a lot thicker, and it felt like it kind of cut my eyes. So one thing I did learn from that. So if you look at that, you could tell even my body was different. I could see myself kind of morphing into who I was later because I started working out more. And then I changed my hairstyle after that too. That, yeah, first match was definitely scary. I remember walking out the first time and I'm just like, I can't do this. There is just no way I can do this. And then when they call your name and you're back there, and you got to go, like you got no other place to go but go. And it's so surreal that the fans are out there wanting to high-five you, and then you get in, and then all of a sudden I remember, like with my first match, there was some confidence that kind of took over, like, oh my God, I am here, let's rock this match. Took off the jacket, made a big thing about it, laid it down, and then turned myself into Roxy Astor. And so I kind of morphed into Roxy little by little as the confidence came along.
Yeah,
So,
once you get that crowd involved, the adrenaline rush starts kicking in.
and you know what? That can even be a boo. You can be a boo, it can be a yay. I love a boo. Just something.
Did you prefer being a baby face or a heel, or what was your?
Yeah, every okay, in my audition, I went in as motorcycle girl. I'm gonna be a bad girl. I'm gonna be the baddest girl that Glow has ever seen. Yeah. No, you don't tell Matt Simber who you're going to be. So, and he made me a good girl, and I was mortified. And then he had me take over Tina Ferrari's place, double mortified, because I'm like, how am I going to fill those shoes? I'm not buff like her, but I thought, you know what? I don't have to be. I can just be me. And it worked. So, you're definitely not going to confuse us, because I'm from Park Avenue and she's from Beverly Hills. And then I have my partner, Tiffany Mellon. So, and she's the giggly sidekick and everything. And she was a lot of fun to work with. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it was great. It was great.
Well, the whole legacy with Glow is that years later, fans still remember the characters and how well the show was produced and received by the masses. And
Yeah.
the legacy continues on today. There have been reboots, there have been reunions, there have been convention appearances. I'm sure when you get people coming up to you and stuff, it has to feel good, because you were part of their childhood and part of that legacy with women's wrestling and professional wrestling as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can be. I think honestly, when Netflix came out, is when we really, really got a lot of people looking at us. We did a lot of interviews. What Washington Post, everybody was coming up to us, trying to create this. A buzz, but a little fight too. So there was kind of a little, controversy between the Glow girls with that. But to me, it just kind of brought more attention to the show, which is, hey, it's cool, and so it's just, that was kind of a mixed feeling thing. But yeah, anything like when a girl goes out and does a convention, Hollywood wrote a book, great. Sunny does her radio show, great. Royal Hawaiian. She's out there convention. She goes to all the shows. Great, great. It just keeps Glow alive. Me, I've done my cruises. I've done 2 plays. We've won Broadway World Awards. Who would have thought that I would have, produced and written a play and, not me, you know, um, and based on Glow. So if anything, Glow, I think is, I don't know why it just, not that we won't let it go, but I think it's just it was a really good time for a lot of us. A lot of the girls have moved on from it though too and want nothing to do with it.
Do you keep up with the current wrestling scene today?
I try to, but honestly, I feel like it's all over the place. Like I love Rhea Ripley. I'm watching Jay Cardell, and then I find out that
Cargill.
one's her. Did I say it wrong?
Yeah, Jade Cargill.
Cargell?
Cargill.
Okay, I'm just gonna call her Miss Abs. Okay, that's it. And who's the other one? Bianca with the long ponytail.
Mm-hmm. Bianca Belair.
And I love where that's going. I just but then I fall in love with who is the 2 guys? Enzo and his part. I love that. I think my favorite storyline was the Wyatt with um when they brought the Wyatts out and the Wyatt family.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was probably the best storyline I think I've seen in a long time. And it's just, I don't really see anything like that anymore now. Like, I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, I think the Wyatts really had it was different because it was character work
Yeah.
and great character development, and I think what Bray was trying to do with telling those stories and really made you feel something. So
Yeah. Just, you know what, the way he sat down in the ring, and it was just like, just, with everybody with their phones or lights or whatever they had going on. It's just, I think that's kind of when I was brought back into it. And I feel like I get brought in and then I go back out and then something else catches, who was that? Eva Marie. Um, she was great for a few seconds. It was like, then I love the divas, the twins, the Bella twins, and then it's like there's a lot of girls and wrestlers I like that are not there anymore. But you got to make room for the new generation, though, too. So,
Now I want to switch gears and talk about some of the stuff. I know you've done a lot of charity work over the years. You're very passionate about animal rescue.
mhm.
Let's talk about what made you decide to get involved with that, and where do you see your contributions going as far as your work in the community?
Okay, so my thing is I've always been an animal lover, and Justice from Glow she can tell you that. She was laughing. I rescued two kitties back in Glow and hid them in the Glow apartment. And so I've always been obsessed with animals. So out here in LA, I think it was like maybe 9 years ago. I was just kind of reaching out and looking at rescues. I didn't really quite understand the whole rescue world and the shelter world. I knew I would drive by there and I would just kind of always feel kind of sad for the shelters and the dogs in there. Um, then it was just kind of like I started meeting people and going to more events and then thinking, how can I help? What can I do? So I started about 8 years ago and started sharing um, post on dogs that were going to be euthanized. I didn't realize there's like a high rate of it, but it's actually worse now. So back then, 8 years ago, it wasn't as bad, but it was bad enough to kind of get me involved in it. So wake up every morning. I've been doing this for 8 years and sharing the dogs and throwing my little, I don't know if you've seen any of my little messages and my stories. And if people don't want to look at it, that's fine. But I've had actually people come up to me and say, I've adopted one of the dogs that you shared. So I have personally, and I don't put everything out there, rehomed over 50 animals from not going into the shelter. That's where I got this paw print from a
Aw.
family. Um, so I said, let me rehome them and don't bring them to the shelter. Once they go to the shelter, they are traumatized. So I actually rehomed. I helped with a hoarding situation and I had brought in a few rescues. And they helped me with that. And it was a lady living in a uh what was it, a trailer with about 40 dogs, and we got them all out and safe. So it just, yeah, just to kind of see it. And it's really bad out here in California. I don't know why it's so bad. We are a very rich state. I don't understand why. So like I said, just to hear um, you know, um, things out there that, you just want to know what can I do to help. So I think it was maybe 3 years ago that I have a group of friends and they love animals too. And we called ourselves the Red Alert Rescue Ladies. Now, Red Alert means the
Caution.
animals that have, it used to be like 2 weeks left, and then maybe they probably won't. Now it's more like 10 days, and it could be a week if they're coughing. I mean, it's just really horrible. So we raised money there, and all the money went to pledges because pledges will get rescues to go. So that was successful and that was great. A lot of owners that are dying that are not putting their animals in a place. I see everything. I see the animals that are being put down, and I don't want to see it. And sometimes I don't even want to share it, but then I kind of feel like, you know what, I have to. I met this really cool guy named Tom Quiche. He's an actor, producer, director. He was on Breaking Bad. Really cool guy. He's over at the shelters all the time, taking videos, helping these dogs get adopted. And I met some really, really good people. So I decided, okay, I've got wrestling. I want to do a wrestling show, but it's got to have substance for me. It just can't be an indie show. And it's got to be like you, wrestling with heart. So mine is wrestling is for the dog. So it's kind of like you. It's got to have something there. So all the proceeds are going to a rescue, Melita's Dream Rescue. She has been pulling red listed dogs. She's been putting dogs in boarding and putting and saving them. So many dogs. And she's a great rescue. And there's an underdog community project that I'm bringing in, and they actually help people that are transitioning from homeless to homes that don't have money for vets, and spay and neuter. So I'm
Wow.
bringing them in. So what I have at this event is you're going to be meeting these dogs, 7 dogs that have been in boarding for a long time, including Miss Valerie. Valerie, I'm sure you've seen Valerie. My big girl Valerie, who I have, my daughter actually found her, and I've been keeping an eye on her, trying to get her adopted and fostered, probably for about a year and a half. So she's the reason why I'm doing this event. So she ended up at boarding, and I said to Melita, why are these dogs still here? What's going on? Because people think that these dogs are okay in boarding, but boarding costs money. And what happens when the money runs out? Where do the dogs go? We have to take care of the rescues. We have to take care of dogs that are in boarding. We cannot keep them there. This boarding facility is nice. It's great, but it still costs money, and it's going to drain the rescue. So my thing is, these dogs that are at Melita's Dream Rescue, they are trained. They are beautiful. They are, perfect to go right to a home. And if Melita gets these dogs out, she can pull more dogs. So if anybody, help the rescues. If, adopt a dog from a rescue, adopt a dog from the shelter. But, if people can't do that from the shelter, then go to a rescue. So there's going to be dogs there, and then we're going to introduce these dogs. And we got Tom Quiche coming, Madeline Wade, Al Burke's coming, and wrestlers Danica. She's going to be defending her SoCal belt. I think we have Nina, her husband Koto. Hope I'm saying it right. And working on a few other people. So bringing in a variation of wrestlers for this, and a lot of them had donated half their prices,
Wow.
which is great. And the guy from Millennium Wrestling, he donated his whole place to us.
That's so amazing.
Yeah, so I'm seeing some really good people.
Yeah, I mean, you're putting on this fundraiser for a good cause, and you've really, are passionate about what you do. Uh, what is it about giving back to the community that gives you the most joy?
I think the most, okay, and I'll say this with even like with one dog. There was a dog named Benjamin, Great Pyrenees. And a lot of people, they just want to pull the dog and not see that dog at their final destination. The biggest rush for me, and I also did this with the Brindle Cane Corso, was saving these 2 dogs the day before they were euthanized. My daughter actually fostered both of these dogs. We got both dogs in great homes, and we get pictures to this day. So those dogs, they were going to be gone. They were not supposed to be here, but I stepped in, and beautiful dogs, and they have a great life. So it's seeing that after, and I'm just a little baby piece in the puzzle, but I just think everybody, even just one dog, and from Tom Quiche always tells me, one dog at a time, just one dog, because we want to save them all. But it's just,
Yeah, I mean,
it's a lot. It's a lot out here in LA.
yeah, I mean, as someone that has a dog, I can definitely attest to the importance of having one around. And so you want to keep them alive and keep them safe as much as possible. So every
Yeah.
little bit helps, every little bit counts. It's amazing what you're doing. Uh,
Can I say one thing though? What's really sad right now? You know how Frenchies were like the dog to get, very
hmm
expensive.
Yeah, yeah.
There's so many Frenchies in the shelters now.
Oh,
Yeah, so you're not just going to get your pit bulls that everybody says, and which I love, amazing dogs, or your German shepherds. You've got all kinds of dogs now. So you know what? People go to the shelter. You'll find your dream dog there.
yeah. What do you find the most rewarding about helping out with animal rescue?
Uh seeing the pictures coming my way from the people that adopted, just seeing how good they're doing, the befores and after. When a dog is in the shelter, they have just totally given up. It's almost like they know that they're next. There's just something about it. They know. And to me, that's like a very sad thing. That's the way it is. But then you see them thrive, and it's just like, oh my gosh, these dogs are amazing, and it's just like, I can't even believe this dog was not going to be here last year. And, it's just, and that's a lot of dogs that I've been seeing through. So yeah, it's rewarding to see the little doggies' faces and the owners who just love them so much.
Yeah. Always good to give a dog or any animal a new home,
Yeah, I also help with cats too.
Oh, good.
So, yeah. I have cats. I have rescue cats and rescue dogs, and also too, what I do is I adopt hospice dogs, and those are dogs that are kind of at the end of their life.
Yeah.
And I'm known as the one that can keep a hospice dog alive for years. And that is just out of love.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're very passionate about what you do, and are giving these animals a home. It's so cool that you're able to do this and really give them a life that they deserve. It's all we can ask for.
I'm just hoping this event will catch on. I'm hoping this event will show other wrestling, federations or whatever, that, hey, maybe we can do a night of, wrestling is for the dogs. Maybe we can help a rescue in this state. Maybe we can help one over here. So I'm hoping it's not a one-time thing. I'm hoping it's an ongoing thing.
That would be great.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, because like I said, I've got to do something with purpose.
Yes.
It has to be. Yeah.
For sure. Well, Roxy, I want to say thank you so much for coming on to Wrestling with Heart. It means a lot to me and to my listeners and viewers that are watching this on YouTube. Where can people find out more about you on social media? And feel free to plug when the event is and all the cool things you're doing.
Okay, well, I'm on Facebook under Roxy Astor. And also Instagram, roxy.astor. And so gonna plug the Wrestling is for the Dogs event, November 15th from 3 to 7. You're gonna have a meet and greet with the dogs at 3 o'clock. You're gonna see the dogs, get a quick bio. They're gonna walk around the ring. It's gonna be a big party / wrestling / dog event. So we're also going to have a foster roster. We're going to get people to foster, save more lives. And honestly, if you're looking for a dog, you're out here in California or even not, go to Melita's Dream Animal Rescue, Melita's Dream Animal Rescue, and take a look at some of these dogs that are going to be at the event. But you can get tickets out here, and they're only $30, and you get a lot, and that's pretty good, even for a wrestling or a charity event. $30, and it all goes to charity. So this is a win-win for all of us. So like I said, I hope this is just the start of something good.
Well, I hope so.
I'm going to start reaching out to people in another state and in another state. So
yeah, just get the ball rolling.
Yeah, I have to. And you know what? It's going to be like it's going to be a big event. It's just not a normal adoption event. And that's me. That's how I roll.
Got to do what you can.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Roxy, and you're more than welcome to come back.
All right. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, take care.
Bye.
This is Wrestling with Heart. I hope you found this podcast to be informative and entertaining. If you did, please hit the subscribe button and look out for the next edition.